From Fox 5 News, it's time for more Good Day New York.
Thanks for being with us, everyone. I'm Lori Stokes. Okay, so we are talking dating during the pandemic. And now that we've already made it, there are some things to still keep dating alive and also keeping the relationship, some do's and don'ts. So while it feels like the coronavirus pandemic has thrown a serious wrench into our love life, there are many ways to keep dating safely and keep the romance alive during quarantine. Celebrity matchmaker Susan Trombetti is joining us. She is the CEO of Exclusive Matchmaking and joining us now with some tips on how to stay together during this uncertain moment. Susan, good to have you with us this morning. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, did we make it through the toughest part?
I think so. I mean, I think it depends on where you are. There's still some high-risk areas, but we're kind of starting to open up, obviously.
Are we looking, I think that we all learned you had to be creative. First of all, for people who did not have a significant other, it's a little scary than still jumping out there because there were so many unknowns about the pandemic. And then for the people who already had someone, they had to learn how not to get tired of that person.
Right, how not to kill them during quarantine, right?
Yes, it was serious.
And some people were just so lonely. I mean, I remember when Gayle King said she's all alone, never felt alone because she's single, but she had to walk by the mirror to say, hi, Gayle. She didn't hear another voice.
So she had to start talking to herself. Yes. I'm sure that's echoed by many people. So let's first tackle dating at this moment and ways to think out the box and do it successfully.
Right. So it's a great time to date. And I have to tell you, relationships have been sparking and igniting. It's like where the wheel lands, right? And people are taking it seriously now. What were qualities that were very superficial before, they suddenly realized what it takes to make a relationship go.
That's right. And what about so video chatting? What do you consider a first date? Should it be should you meet in person wearing your mask at a distance? Should it be the video chatting? What do you do?
Heck no. At the turn of the at the beginning of the decade, I said virtual dates were going to be in and replace coffee dates. And that is true more now than ever, right? So you have to have a virtual date. I mean, come on, why were you wasting your time to begin with before COVID in a coffee shop? You need to see them on, your screen first and minimize the risk, right? And see if it's worth taking it offline at some point. So you definitely need to utilize these apps, and there's so many of them out there, right? Bumble,
which apps do you
Tinder.
like?
Oh, so during COVID, like really when it was really serious lockdown for everybody across the country, Tinder, had the passport feature, Bumble. I mean, there were just so many of them. And of course, you could always go to your regular old FaceTime and Zoom. I mean, it was just so much fun, right? I love House Party, too. I mean, even for those people that were quarantined together. House Party is kind of like a video chat app for you and your friends, and it's not particularly designed for dating, but it's fun. It gets that first date off because you have you can play games on it and have a blast. It's a really great first date.
You talk about planning a killer date. Send takeout, dessert, flowers to your date. Send Venmo, money, wine,
Venmo
liquor.
Them a drink.
Those are killer dates, money. I guess.
Yes. I mean, dress up, look your best and show up, right? Looking hot on that date. I mean, it's happening. If Love is Blind has taught us anything, right, it's that you can fall in love sight unseen, right?
That's right. What about if you're already in a relationship? What are the things you can do to keep it hot?
So if you're already in a relationship, the first thing you need to do is get off the couch. Get out of those sweats, brush your hair, brush your teeth, take a shower, right?
Right.
Because during quarantine, it's hard to remember to do that with everybody just kind of working in the communal space. And, you can plan a killer date and, keep it hot between the two of you, right? Because there's nothing sexier than cooking dinner together,
yes.
as you know, right? So you pull out the stemware, the fine china, get the candlelight going, make it a hot date for sure, right?
And are you still giving guidance to celebrities during this time too?
Well, not so much, because I think there's but there's so many other people out there like terrified they're going to be in lockdown, for the next year. And I find that the masses are just showing up at my virtual happy hours. And that's what's really going on. People looking for confirmation that it's okay to date and what process they should follow till they meet in person.
Right. All right, Susan, it's always great to have you on. People can always follow you on Instagram and see what you're up to. Thank you for all the advice you gave us.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day.
Okay.